Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Today is our day for Journal Pals. So, if you're unfamiliar with Journal Pals, it's a fun event and it's hosted by Jimmy Lou over in the Messy Craft Corner. And she sends us all a piece of fabric to use for the cover of a junk journal. And then whatever we do to the inside, that's up to us. So it is a super fun event, and I'm Christy here at My Artful Adventures. And so we actually have people throughout the day, and everyone is showing us their particular projects. So I'm waiting to be sent over into that group. They're just finishing up now. Let me see. I need to actually find myself on my own page so I can send myself to a couple of places here. So while we wait on and I don't like saying that I am, having to wait on everybody, but sometimes that's how it is. Oh, hey there, Jimmy Lou. She's got me sprinkled out there. There's Lori and Sue. You guys, what are you up to today? I know it's our junk journal day. Did you get anything else done today? There's Mary. And Tracy. You guys, we are having a super cloudy, rainy day today. Are you guys getting any rain, or are you having a sunny day out there? Tell me what's going on out there. What you got going on in your neck of the woods, as Willard Scott would say, right? You kind of start to show your age for that, don't you? When you start saying silly things like that. But, what can you say? Let me see. Let me just send myself to another place here. And I'm going to be good to go. I'm going to point you down to the desktop. If I would have done this on my phone, that probably would have been a better idea. And then I could do more than one at a time. Hey, Stacy. Hi, Carol. Rainy. Carol says 81 in southeast Georgia. Rain tonight. Oh, Lori's crafting along with us. Cool. I love to have fellow crafters crafting along. Rainy in Nashville. Yeah, I tell you what, it's probably just kind of going on by, right? Probably just moving on through. Oh my goodness, one day last week I saw the weather, and oh my goodness, it was a great big storm. We hadn't gotten any of it, so I was surprised when I was looking and I saw how big the storm was. It was a big north and south front, and it was moving on east, but we hadn't gotten any of it. So when I saw that, I was just so surprised. Hello, Susan, how are you? Yeah, so you guys, just such a fun event today. These are always fun when we get to have everybody. So Subi's Designs was first. She was up showing us her version of what she did with the with the fun fabric that we got. This time it's a piece of quilt. Sometimes we never know what it is. Sometimes it's a piece of quilt. Sometimes it might be a piece of, or maybe oh gosh, if my brain would work, that'll be helpful. Placemat. Got it. Sometimes that brain gets frozen up there, right? And then next is going to be, after me, is going to be crafting time with Jamie too. And then the Messy Craft Corner. And then hanging with Mama Hall. And she's going to be right here in our group. She's not able to go live from her page yet. And so she's biding her time. So that's going to be fun. So be sure to be right here in this group, in our Junk Journaling Jamboree group. That's where you can find everybody. And by the way, I hope you will take just a minute, if you will just take a second and go over and watch from there. That's always helpful to the group. Plus, when one person finishes, you can just refresh your browser and you're able to see the next person. And then we've got Liz, Crafting with Nani. And then Cynthia, the Shabby Heart by Vines. She's gonna bring us home at the end. Okay. Hey Molly, how are you? Linda, Maritza, you guys, thanks for popping in. Let's go ahead here and let me just move on my screen so I can better see the things. Hey Debbie, how are you? Okay, so down to the 1 second. This is what happens.
Hey,
Hello?
FIA has 0%, 2%, 5%.
I'll take the 2%.
Thank you, bye.
Okay, I'm on a live. Bye. Can you hear me now? Did I do it wrong? Did I turn did you hear that whole thing and then I didn't turn it off before? Can you guys, I'm going to wait for just a second. Oh, I know it's making the sound little bar now. Oh my gosh. I got that so backwards. Okay, I think you guys can hear me now, right? Give me some hearts if you can hear me. I see some hearts coming in. Okay, now I'm so sorry. Thanks Judith and Becky and Susan, you guys. Oh my goodness. Well, did you hear my whole conversation then? I was trying to shut that off. All right, let me get back to this. We're going to cut these out, and so we're going to have 4. It's a great project for doing with single-sided paper. And 2%. Yeah, that's for the yogurt. Oh my gosh. And I told him that in the first place. I even sent a text message. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, this is what I added to that. You guys, if your husband is willing to go grocery shopping while you're doing live and you're busy doing your own stuff, I guess we should, answer the call, or, we should tell them what we specifically need, right? Okay, so this is a great project for double-sided or single-sided papers. And so the way that you want to do this, this is going to be, your single side. You're going to need 4 of those on one side, and then you're going to have 4 on the other side. So it gives you a chance when you think about it like this, how you might want to lay them out, okay? So that's what we're going to do. And we are going to use these pieces as our covers. So I kind of started this. I cut these to where I had some room to, well, I tell you what, I had to straighten them up and get a size that would work. You guys, you could use, your pages could be like a regular 8.5 by 11, and then you would want to make this, make your covers. They would be a good size for, you want to do at least a 1/4 inch bigger than your half piece of paper. So like if this is your paper and you've got this folded, like it would open. So if this was your folded paper, you would want to do at least a 1/4 inch bigger across and a 1/4 inch this way. And that way it's going to give you a tiny bit of space. Let me pull my other one out. It's going to give you that tiny bit of space to go around your pages, right? So you want your cover to have a little bit of room. So I just thought, after I had made that one and it was kind of a mistake, I thought, you know what, this would be such a cool project to use and to be able to make it an ephemera holder on purpose. So that's what we're going to do today. And I hope I can get through this. Let's go ahead and let's, work on this. We're going to have to do this part. This was part of the batting. I took it apart. And so here was the batting. So I've got a piece of chipboard on the back here. And then we're going to tack this down for our cover. Hey, Stephanie, how are you? I know, Celeste, aren't these pretty? We're just going to dab, dab, dab. And get this on here. I don't know if any of you ladies who got a piece of this, or Jimmy Lou, if you're on here, what do you think this center batting piece was? I'm curious. I have no idea what it might have been. It's got a very interesting feel to it. Okay. So, and it doesn't matter really which way we put this on for now. So it's straight. It was cut straight. So I just need to get it lined up and then we'll press it on here. And we'll be good to go. I got a little bit coming up out of the edge. I'm going to move this in a little bit. And so we'll get that flattened down. And just press it in place. So we'll see how that looks for that. Now, eventually, we're going to need this other piece, and we're going to cover this later. Oh no, I might need to trim that off again. Looks like I could have. Maybe I can get this stretched over a little bit. Oh, Becky, you think it was blanket? Oh. Like what? Oh, I don't know. Do you think it was like a wool blanket? Mine, did you see? I think I just used that piece. It had that weird seam in it. That would have been weird for somebody to have a blanket with that weird seam. Okay, so that's that piece. Let me go ahead and do this piece as long as we've got our stuff out here. We'll put this one on. Yeah, but isn't that fun? It's so fun to use. Well, you're having a beautiful day in Michigan. I missed that, Sue. That's wonderful. What's your temperatures right now? You guys should be starting to warm up. Oh my gosh, I remember when we first moved to Minnesota, it was the end of February, first part of probably the first few days of March. And I can remember by the end of March, people were out running in shorts. And I can remember thinking, okay, it's certainly warmer than it was at the beginning of the month, but this is interesting. Oh my gosh, you guys. After living there for years, I could understand that. I mean, when it gets like about 32, you think you're having fabulously warm days. So those frigid, frozen below zero temperatures give you a whole different perspective of temperatures. I do know that. So I'm just gonna drizzle some of this around. It's gonna kind of sink down into that fabric, whatever it may be. Whew. Man, I tell you, my fingers are getting tired squeezing. Oh, you guys, yesterday I was trying to write something. I couldn't even write. I kept getting a cramp up here in this part of my arm when I would write. I'm like, well, that's not good. And I'd have to stop. I finally gave up and I typed up what I was trying to do. I just went into the computer and got it done. I was trying to send something off somewhere and there was information they needed. I'm like, well, okay. So now that this has laid down a little bit, I can see that I'm going to have to trim some off. I've got some right there that needs trimmed. So let me grab a rotary tool. Now that's one thing nice about using this, and I wish I had my fabric one, but I don't. That is something nice about having this chipboard, is now I can just go right around here and there's enough depth on it. It's kind of got a wonky place on its blade, so it doesn't really cut all the way through. But look, I've got a really nice edge to clean it all up with. So that was kind of a bonus of putting it on here. Not a bonus is it's kind of thick, and I had thought about running this through my sewing machine, but after I did that, that really wasn't going to be an option. I can't run that through my sewing machine with chipboard, or let's just say I'm not going to. How about that? I'm not going to do it. Okay. All right. So have any of you taken apart a quilt or, you know, something kind of vintage like that and repurposed it into something new that you can use these days? Hi, Stella. Hi, Capri. Oh, yeah, glue. Which one are you using that is so hard? I tell you, I had a bunch of this Fabri-Tac on me. Must have been yesterday. I like to never got that stuff cleaned off my hands. It was a mess. Okay, so we've got these. This is going to be the front and the back cover. Let's set that over to the side and let's get going on our pages. So the pages are going to be, oh, I hope I didn't throw away my, because I had to custom size these, I have to custom size what my pages are going to be, you guys. So, and you know, you would have to do this. You would have to figure out, you know, how yours were, what size you would need it. Capri says she repurposed an old quilt that was falling apart into angel dolls. Oh, cool. That sounds fabulous. Okay, so now when I was showing you this, we could, you know, see what we needed, but it doesn't matter. All of our pages need to be the same, so we'll go ahead and just start cutting them. And so we're going to cut these down to 8.5 or 10.5 wide by 8 inches tall. Okay, so 10.5 by 8. And that should give me, if I measured right, that should give me a little bit of room on my, let me think. I think I'll cut it this way first. I think I'll cut my 8-inch side so that I have as much of a big strip down the side, because we're going to use, we'll save those for our scrap pile because we're going to use our scraps. Okay, so 8 inches by 10.5. Always save your scraps when you're doing something like this, when you're having to cut down your 12 by 12 papers, right? Because then you've got lots of fun scraps to work with. Okay, so we're going to cut our 8 inches high. And 10.5 wide. And then I just always hope that I'm actually doing what I planned. It's like, did I cut that the right way? Oh, because that can happen. So it folds good this way, so that's the 8 inches. All right. Okay. It's more than 30 degrees cooler in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Wow. Isn't that something? Yeah, I don't doubt it. Not surprised. So I've got these, and some of these I tried to kind of get things that I thought would, you know, kind of coordinate with the with those quilt pieces. But also, you know, I gotta consider that if we're going to use it for ephemera, you know, we want to make sure that it's not too crazy for that, I guess. Although, does it really matter? You know, when you love pretty paper, does it really matter? What is it you speak of? A plan. Oh my gosh. Isn't that the truth? Yep. Okay, so I hope so. That was 4 pages, and we can use that for one side, and then we can have 4. I got 4 of these pinkish colors, and I kind of thought that they went okay with this. What do you guys think of that? What do you think of those pinky colors with that? You know, I like it. I like it. So this was gonna be our. Okay, so that's the 8 inches tall. And if you're just popping in, and if you haven't seen me do that before, I like to make sure that the way I'm going to fold my paper to start with, that, you know, I'm folding it with the grain of the paper, so that way you have less chance of your paper cracking. So that's what I'm doing. And you guys, I am just, you could score these too, but you know, I just think a lot of times single-sided papers are a little bit thinner. That's my story anyway. That's my story. Not always. I did run across one bunch I had, and man, they were still thick, sturdy ones. Hey, Jill, how are you? So, and then 10.5. So what have you guys been up to? How many got to see our Subi Designs, who was our first person today? Who got to watch her? You guys, I was right in the middle of something. I'm going to have to go back and do the replay. I feel bad about that, but you know, sometimes that's how life goes, right? So 8 inches. So yeah, once you get all, I think it might be raining again right now. I think I just heard thunder, that's for sure. So, you know, you can see part of this project is just getting your papers done. And you guys, this would be, and since I was talking about doing the single-sided paper, this would be a great thing to just print out papers, and you'd only have to print them on one side, right? And you do your digital printables, and you just have to do them on your one side. I think this would be a great thing to do that for. Okay. I might, you know, I think I will go ahead and let's just go ahead and score these. So if it's at 10.5, I need 5 and 5.5. No, 5. What did I say it was? 10.25? I don't know. I'm going to fold one and then I'll see. It's like, I don't know. Some moments I can think, and some moments my brain freezes up, right? Oh, Stephanie's been busy in her group doing some sample videos too, and Hunter. You have a graduate too? You know what? I was just thinking of that this morning. 5.25. Yeah, I was thinking it was 5.25. I can tell you that anyway, right? Did she really know it was 5 1/4? I can shut this down. I was just thinking last night, somebody else was talking about, somebody, they had their kid graduating. We've got one at our house this year. And I was just thinking, oh, I wonder how many people have graduates this year. Isn't that something? Lots of things going on. And it's going to be a busy month until that happens, right? Just super busy with all the things going on. You guys, I bought graduation announcements, and when they came and my granddaughter saw them, she was horrified. She had never seen some of you that are of an age, you know exactly what I'm talking about the fancy graduation announcements, right? They're kind of almost like wedding announcements. I did not buy the double envelopes because, let me just say, I know most of our people don't even know about that kind of stuff, so I don't think I did. Maybe they came with double envelopes, I don't know. But I just got a handful, and she was talking about her graduation cards. So I go and I pull these out because they already arrived, and she's horrified. She has no idea what they are. She's talking about like doing a photo card, and it has her picture on it, and I don't know what else it says. Probably she's graduating. Who knows? And she was absolutely horrified. And I'm like, this is the graduation announcement. And so I'd only bought a handful. And I said, only a handful of people will get these. And so, I'm telling my husband it like that. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, yeah, well, I still got them. And there's still going to be people that get them. Now, I like to line these up and make sure, even though I did already score them, I like to make sure they're really in half. Just now, another thing you can do is you can bump these up. Like if you've got one of the big scoreboards, and you can, like if this was the top of your board, you can bump them up like this and make sure they're super straight and get them lined up, right? Oh, you got to meet Sue B Designs today. Nice. The extras? Oh, you mean of the announcements? I know, right? There has to be one of those that gets saved. Even if she was horrified, they'll still be saved. I mean, they're fancy. They have the school, I don't know. I don't know that it's not like I don't think it was like their mascot thing. I'd have to look at it again. But they're fancified and embossed and have like the script printing on it telling about the graduation day and all that kind of fun stuff. And I tell you what though, the reason I chose that small number of 10 is, I will tell you this, I remember they were not cheap. Do you guys remember, and I think, it's so interesting that so many of our younger people have no idea. I was saying this, well, I even think I was telling my daughter this. Like when I ordered wedding announcements and things, or not, the invitations, like, just a few years ago. I remember, where I did it? Do you guys remember? Okay, here's a question. Who remembers where one of the places was, if it wasn't at a printer, where did you go to find fabulous choices for formal invitations of things? Who has the answer to that? I want to know. Okay. So here's going to be our first 4. And I think maybe I'll alternate them. I don't know. Why not, right? Who usually take the grand announcement, tear it apart, and decoupage on paper mache initial to make them a personalized gift. Capri, that is a cool idea. A jewelry store? Lanita. Now, I didn't even know that. Stephanie, they look like department stores. You guys are coming up with answers I didn't even know. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. These are going to be the ones that lay this way. And we're going to think of these as like, these are kind of our valley folds are like this, okay? So let's decide which we're going to do. So we're going to have, it's going to go like this. And then I think I'll put this one and then this one. So I'm going to do these backwards. So I'm going to fold them and just lay them like this, so I know what order they go in. So this is my first one. And then on the back side, we've got these. So, you know, just, I don't know. Let's do it like this. Okay, so there's that pile. So now we're going to take this pile. Is this my first one? Okay, so here's my first one, and it's going to go like this, and this is going to be this one, and they're going to go like this, and you're just going to tuck them in just like this, okay? And so remember, this is what we're shooting for. Liz, Hallmark was what I was thinking. Yep, ding, ding, ding. Liz had my answer, and you guys, I am really impressed with the rest of these answers. I had no idea that jewelry stores did it. And CVS, I don't know about that, Stephanie Brooks. Your newspaper, you looked at samples and ordered, paid, and picked up. Rose, that's cool. Everything from invitations to fine china. So, okay, Lenita, what was, okay, I gotta scroll back here and see what your answer was, that they did all of that. Oh my gosh, I got everything stuck to me. You guys, what time is it? I gotta get going here, but I have to know. I have to know. A drugstore. At a hardware store in your little town that did that. Oh, funny. Molly says their pharmacy. Lisa had an actual stationery store. Yeah. Yeah, okay, Lenita's talking about the jewelry store. Yeah. I couldn't think which one she had said. Isn't that something, you guys? How things have changed, right? Okay, so now we're just going to do this. So the white ones get glued together. The white places are going to be glued together. And we're just going to put this on here, squiggle it around. And as I tuck this one over, I want to try and make sure it's lined up nicely. And I want to make sure the side folds. Okay, we gotta have it folding. Okay, so that goes this way, and so from this pile, this one goes this way. So you're only gonna see this top one as we go through, and so we're just gonna put all of these together, and then hopefully I can get these all glued together. You can see the you know how this goes together, and then hopefully I can at least get one part of the cover on. I gotta get one part of the cover on. In fact, you know what, let me do a few of these. We'll get the cover on so we can at least get that done. We gotta do that, right? And so this one we're just gonna fold in here so you can see the whole piece of paper that you're putting on, right? Oh my gosh, I got that one crooked. There we go. So this is what's nice about using a glue that gives you a moment to wiggle it in place, and that one didn't. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's got a problem. Let's try again. You guys, and I tell you what, as much as I don't like to use glue stick, you know, a glue stick would also be something that would give you a moment. And it's, you know, kind of got that nice pasty feel. So see how I've got my ones that I had selected to go together? Okay, and now Make sure you can close it. All right, so we got that one. So the next one is going to be from this pile, and it's going to go over here. And you just keep alternating them. So, you know, the way we're doing this, the ones on the bottom have the white side up. And then we're putting these face down. How did I do that? Did I even have the glue on the other page here? I must have flipped this page clear around. Who knows? Girls High School grabbed a small cedar box from Lane Furniture. Oh, Capri, isn't that cool? Oh, that's cool. I want this to go this direction. So just line it up. Make sure it folds. And you will see a tiny, tiny thing there, because you know what? The reason you've got this tiny spot in through here, it's almost like a tiny spine. Do you know how big that has to be? It has to be the thickness of this paper. That's how much it has to be. That's how it is able to, you know, go within itself, right? What are we doing here? And so let me make sure I got that one done too. All right, and now this one goes in. Lori, what are you making? Lori says she's crafting along. What are you crafting along, Lori? Okay. Now, we're not going to get all the way done on this, and I will do other lives on this. Man, I'm not getting much glue out of here. I think I'm getting tired of squeezing, you guys. I'm going to put some more, I got to put more pressure on. The pressure is on. Oh my goodness. Phew, okay. Has to be a smidge. That's right, that is the perfect description, a smidge. I heard one time a gal who, she's actually over in England, and she calls it I think she called it a fly's eyelash. That was the description that she gave of a tiny bit. I'm like, that's cool. Fly's eyelash. Okay, so let's make sure that closes both directions. Yep. Okay, so now we got this going on, and you can see we're just going to keep putting those on. Our time is running out here, so we got to get going. So let's see how we put on the front cover. I think I'll use the one that has the most here. Now, this is how your book is going to open, right? Like a book. And so we're going to put this on here. So I'm going to get this on here. So yes, you are going to cover up part of one of your papers. The front and the back, you'll have to cover up part of your printed paper. Okay. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys, I'm squeezing that. I know, Capri, isn't that cute? Okay, so now I'm going to flip this over here. Well, let's see, does it matter which way? Yeah, I want that there. Okay, so we're just, oh shoot, don't put it on this. Put your glue on your folded papers. Because now I got glue where it doesn't need to be. That's not too bad, though. I didn't do too bad. And I put it on the wrong one, didn't I? Nope. Okay. Phew. Oh, well. I got it. I got it on there. And now then, on that one, see, we've got one white page. And so what we have to do with that one is take our other piece. Where is it? Where is it? We're going to take this piece, And we're going to put this one in here. Right down there. And it's going to have to be trimmed a little too, maybe. I don't know. I tried to really get those. I know, Susan. Hey, Carrie, how are you? You guys, it is. Now this one is going to cover up my whole chipboard, so that's going to be okay. All right. And then, I don't know, I'm probably going to put some lace around the edge or something. I got to do something, right? What do you guys think would be fun to finish off the edges? You know, I originally had thought I'd like to do like a blanket stitch, you know, all around the edge. And I thought, well, I can't do that because now I got, you know, chipboard in it. So that's not going to work. You know, I think I should probably start at the inner edge so that if there's any that needs to be trimmed off, it'll be on the outside edges, right? We're just trying to lay this baby down here. Yep, I think it's going to have a little bit trimmed, and that's okay. At least it's big enough, right? You want it big enough. I'd always rather have to trim a tiny bit than it not be big enough. Okay, and it closes, so we're okay. I might need to put a little more glue in there later. Or not, you know, even if you have to see that, it'll be okay. But look, isn't that fun? You know, that's not even the side I was thinking that was going to be on. Oh my word. I wanted that to be on this part. Oh well. Oh well. The best laid plans. I got it upside down. What can I say? And I've already got that on there. I mean, that's not going to be coming off at this point. Okay, so now then. Oh my goodness, people. What can I say? Now we can do all kinds of things, and we can put some pockets in here. We can do all kinds of fun stuff. Let's see here. Let's put a little pocket right here. Let me trim that. So you guys, who did I say after me? Crafting Time with Jamie 2. You know, always if you see that, you know, they've had a problem with their page, right? So it's always sad. All the people that have lost their pages over time. So we've got that. And we can just keep doing all kinds of stuff to these fun little things. I'm just going to put I'll just put a little thumb notch here. If we can figure out how to open it. We'll just put a little thumb notch on here. We could layer these if we wanted to, but for this one, I think that needs a tiny bit trimmed off. Just a teensy bit. It's going to hit into the little seam. We'll take off that fly's eyelash there, right? A black fabric marker to mark edges around the stitch edges. Oh, that would be fun. That'd be a cute idea. I don't know though. You know what? There is probably on the front side between the fabric and the batting, before you even get to where the chipboard is, I maybe could actually do some embroidery on that. Maybe. There might be enough room to get that in there. I don't know. I'd have to try. But that would be fun too, to still be able to have that blanket stitch on there. And then that would be fun to do on the inside of this, because look at all the stitches, you know, like on here. We could do some layering of pockets. We could put some belly bands, some tuck spots, and use this for, you know, all kinds of embellishments. And so then what happens is you've got this fun thing that just folds out. And I thought, when I saw the other one, I'm like, oh, this would be so cool, because now you can just fold it out and see all kinds of your ephemera just right before your eyes. And I just thought, Well, I like that idea. You know, that's how sometimes we get ideas, right? It just, the moment just hits us and it's like, oh, I love that. You guys, thank you so much for popping in with me today. I really appreciate it, and this has been fun. So yeah, so you guys be sure and watch that first part where I, you know, show you how to make sure, you know, that you've got this going, because you need this first one up and the last one needs to face down to be able to open it as a book. And just before we go, let me, does the other one do it? No. But anyway, this is what it would do. So you open it like this and you just keep flipping through. This one will have one more page like this, and then, you know, it would end over here, and then as you flip through, we'll put the other cover on here, and then you flip it, and now you've got all of these pages as well, and they're gonna all fold out like that. So that's it. That's my idea for today. And you guys take care, and let's go over and watch and see what what idea she has for her fabric cover today. You guys take care. Bye-bye.